Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your girl Tony, and we are back with another video. We are on day 5. So, we are halfway through this thing. We are halfway through this thing, and you should be really, really proud of yourself if you have made it to day 5. Now, I really don't know if you guys are starting this week or if you have already started with us. And we done made it through the whole weekend. We done made it through the whole weekend. So, just to give a little glimpse of what we talked about in day 4, kind of just went over some good topics of what to fast away from during your fast and learning to stay away from certain people, certain places while you're fasting because you don't want to allow yourself to be tempted by things that are just not there, by things that are going to cause you to start over or revert back to those old habits. So if you didn't check that video out, make sure you check that one out. So today I asked the Holy Spirit, I was like, what we want to talk about today on day 5? Because I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of over it. So I heard God say, talk about faith. And I was like, okay, that's all I kept hearing, faith, faith, faith. So I do have a few scriptures that I wanted to share with you guys on faith that I thought was really, really good and that could really draw, um, you know, really draw. I think what I want to say is really put the icing on the cake for these videos and understanding that yes, you're fasting away from certain things. Um, yes, you're doing it for your breakthrough, but you have to believe and you have to have faith. And knowing what faith actually is. I think a lot of us don't know what faith actually is. So, just giving a breakdown of what faith is and how you can apply it while you're fasting. So, we talked about foods, we talked about what to fast away from, we talked about, we're talking about faith now. And then I think in the other few videos, we just did like a little check in. Then there's another one, but it'll come to me. So we've been talking about a lot of good things, and we only have a few more days, but you do have to complete the whole 7th day. So you don't break your fast on the 7th day, you actually break it on the 8th. I know, I'm sorry. So you got to go through the whole 7th day. So I just told myself on day 7, I'm just going to start preparing my meals for when I go into my raw vegan stages. I do have to have my walnut burger first because I've been dreaming about it. And I have to try the walnut burger with the mushrooms and the walnuts. So you're definitely going to see me munching on that on my YouTube page. And I think for my 7-day vegan challenge, I want to kind of give you guys um, some meals that you can do if you decide to go vegan. So just, get a behind the scenes in the kitchen and some of the things that I'm going to be meal prepping. So I think day 7, you should be preparing yourself to kind of meal prep some of your meals because you don't want to go back to just eating Chick-fil-A after you don't want 7 days. You don't want to go back to eating McDonald's. You don't want to go back to those old habits. The purpose of this is to break them because there is something new being worked within your life and your mindset. So I think it's important that 2 days prior to you breaking your fast, and we'll talk about that on day 7 a little bit more, but 2 days prior of you breaking your fast, you kind of just want to plan out your meals, what you're going to start eating now, or looking at different things that can be more healthy for you and your family. So just wanted to bring that up because I think that's important. Again, you do not want to go back to eating Popeyes, eating Wendy's. You're trying to break away from all of that. That stuff is toxic, it's not healthy. Don't convert right back into that same habit. Have some boundaries and have some structure going on in your life moving forward. Okay. All right. So We know we're talking about faith in these videos. Well, in this video today. So, okay, let's go to Matthew's chapter 21, verse 22. It says, and whatever you ask in prayer, you will receive if you have faith. If you have faith. Why is faith so important? Faith is important to have because we have to understand that everything happens at its appointed time. There is an appointed time for you to receive your blessing. There's an appointed time for you to come into your new self. There's an appointed time for you to get the house and be approved and do all of the things that you dream of. So it's important to have faith because we don't know when the appointed time is going to come, right? That's all in the divine. That's all on God. But having faith and recognizing that there is an appointed time for things is going to help you stay balanced and wait. Because without faith, you will know there's an appointed time, but you will be impatient. Without faith, you will know that you have something coming, but then you're not going to want to wait for it. So the faith keeps you waiting. The faith keeps you strong. The faith keeps you knowing that there's something so much better on the other side. And that's how we have to look at it. It's something so much better on the other side for us. So thought that was a great scripture to talk about. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. And I think we've heard this one a lot throughout our life, even from people that was definitely mostly in the church. You always hear this when you have problems and you go to somebody. This is the verse that they always say. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. Here we go. I can't read my handwriting. Oh, in all your ways, acknowledge him and he will make straight your path. So yes, you can't lean on your own understanding because your understanding is going to limit what God can do. Your understanding is that, oh, this thing is not going to happen because I don't see it, because you're walking by faith, not by sight. So you have to lean, you have to put your trust in God. You have to put this blessing to God. You have to give it to God, and you have to trust and you have to have faith that this thing will pass and he will do what he said he's going to do. He will. So do not lean on your own understanding. Every time I leaned on my own understanding, I was made a fool out of. I was like, oh, okay. I thought that's what was happening, but the whole time it was just something different. So, use your own stories to make it fit where you leaned on your own understanding and the whole time it wasn't what it appeared to be. So I think it's important that we trust God during this process and have more faith, because without faith, what can he do? He can't do it. He can't make things happen in your life without faith. Okay. Well, here go a verse. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. And without faith, it is impossible to please him, for all he comes to God must believe that he is, and that he, the Bible verses be crazy. Let me reread that. And without faith, it is impossible to please him, for he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who seek him. Yes, God is a rewarder. He rewards you for your obedience. He rewards you for trusting in him, and he rewards you for having faith. And I'm pretty sure there's more things that he rewards us for, but I think it's so important that he rewards us for the obedience. I read something where it says you don't get rewarded for righteousness because righteousness is how we're supposed to live. But being obedient to God is like a reward for him. But don't quote me on that. I could be completely wrong. We could be rewarded for righteousness, but we shouldn't look for a reward for doing good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to do good. You're supposed to be righteous. You're supposed to help others. You're supposed to serve people. So I think righteousness is just your state of being, who you're supposed to be. Um, but yes, without faith, it's impossible to please God. So it's like you're fasting, you're praying, and you have to have faith that this thing is going to happen. You must believe that this thing is going to happen. So increase your faith. And we talked about increasing prayer. I think that one was so important, to increase your prayer. And as you increase your prayer, your faith increases. So have faith. Um, let's go to Mark chapter 9, verse 23. If you can believe, all things are possible for one who believes. Okay. If you can believe, all things are possible for one who believes. Believe that this thing is going to happen, because we have 3 more days to see this through, and we're going to have to increase our faith. We're going to have to increase our faith, those prayers, trusting and allowing God to mold you into the person that you want to become, or that you know you should be. So if you believe, all things are possible. And how many times we hear this word? Without faith, it is impossible. But if you believe, things are possible. So remember that. Okay. Let's go to another Hebrews. We have Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Now, faith is the assurance of things that's hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. You're not going to see it. You're not going to see it. You're not going to see what God is doing behind the scenes. That's why they tell you to have faith. And a lot of people don't want to have faith. They can't have faith. They have to see it. We're in a society where people have to see things happen in order for them to believe that it's going to work. And unfortunately, it doesn't work like that, because you will get put in positions where your life is things are happening in your life, and the only person that you can call on is God. Like, your finances are going through some things. Your children are going through some things. Your marriage is going through some things. Like, these things happen in our life because we either stop believing or we stop having faith. And we have to understand that faith is not going to be seen. Faith is the unseen, it's the unknown. It's walking into the unknown of things and not sure if it's going to work out or if it's not going to work out. But that faith, that small faith of a mustard seed, is what's going to keep you pushing. Okay? Okay, we have Matthew's chapter 15, verse 28. Oh, woman, great is your faith. Be it done for you as you deserve. And her daughter was healed instantly. Oh, let's reread that. Oh, woman, great is your faith. Be it done for you as you deserve. You deserve it. You deserve it. If you've been going through this thing for these whole 5 days, and you've been praying and you've been fasting and you've been following the instructions of the video, because these are instructions from God that I'm doing myself and that I'm giving to you. So if you're following the instructions and you're praying and you're fasting, then you deserve what's coming to you. And he said her daughter was healed instantly. Some of us have prayers for us to be healed. Oh, and sometimes it's not as big as a house or a car. Some of us really want to be healed from cancer. Some of us really want to be healed from sickle cells, lupus. Some of us want to be healed from actually illnesses. So, if that resonates, this verse is so, it's going to hit home for you, because great is your faith, having faith that God will heal you. He healed her instantly, having faith, going through, seeing this thing through. All right. We have a few more. James chapter 1, verse 3. Because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Perseverance is persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Like, this is going to produce character. This is going to produce wisdom. This is going to produce strength. This is going to produce new habits, a new way of thinking, and a new relationship between you and God. All of these things are going to produce great fruit for you. Great fruit, abundant fruit for you. So, don't know that you will be tested. Like we said, you're going to be tempted. You're going to be tested. There are going to be places where you're tempted to give up. You're tempted to be like, man, I want a Chick-fil-A so bad. Like, I want that walnut burger so bad. I dream about it. Like, I'm looking every day at the recipe, because I want to master that thing. I want that burger. Whew. I want it to be so good. Everything vegan though. Everything is going to be vegan. All the ingredients are going to be vegan. And what I love about it is only like 2 to 3 ingredients. And I'm starting to noticing that I'm buying more foods that only have like 3 ingredients in them. So I'm telling you, you're going to be tested. And it's only when you're tested that you can gain that character and that perseverance. So understand that all of these things are happening for a reason. So God can see, like, okay, is this, like I said, is she serious? Do she want this as bad as she's asking? Do she really want to be healed from cancer, or is she going to just go back to eating the same old things that gave her cancer from the start? Can she be allowed to be shown a different way? Like, you're going to be tested. You're going to be tested. There's no doubt about you being tested. You're going to be tested. So be prepared to be tested. That's why I said pray for awareness and pray that God alerts you when the enemy is trying to come in and kind of take you off that path. Because when you're doing something and God is at play, oh, the devil is on it. The devil is on it. He's on it. He's like, no, I don't want her to reach the top. I don't want her to become this herbalist who heals. I don't want her to do any of those things. I want her to stay where she's at. So you got to know that the devil is lurking. He's lurking. Okay. So now we're in James verse 1, chapter 6. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of sea blown and tossed by the wind. If that wasn't a word, I don't know what was. But when you ask, when you pray for it, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of sea blown and tossed by the wind. You ever just seen like a hurricane just throw stuff everywhere. That's how you're going to be if you don't have faith. You're going to be blown everywhere. You're going to hear things from people that are not necessarily true. You're going to hear things on social media. You're going to hear things on Facebook. You're going to hear things from your mom, from your dad. So it's like you're going to be blown in many different directions if you doubt. If you doubt, you ask for it. So you got to believe that it's going to happen. And again, everything happens at its appointed time. There is a time for things to be released. There's a time for it. So understand that you're going through this. It's not for nothing. So don't doubt. Don't be on here. Don't be doubting every day. We done made it to day 5. Don't doubt every day. Okay, and last one, Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. God is with me. I will not fail. God is with you. You will not fail. When you believe and you have faith, and like I said, you're fasting, you're praying, he's with you. You will not fail. You will not fail. This thing, listen, I don't know, don't quote me on this. You're going to hear me say that a lot when I'm not too fluent and what chapter or what verse or what book it comes out of. But this thing shall come to pass. These things should not be returned to God void unless you decide that you don't want it anymore. Unless you make the decision to allow the devil to win. These things should not be returned void. They have to come to you. These blessings have to come to you. That's why we're doing what's necessary to lock in that blessing. Like, it's so important to lock in your blessing. There's a lot of things that people, have on pause. We got finances on pause because we keep spending all of our money on fast food and junk and things that we don't need. So we have blessings locked away from when we have the discipline to be able to know how to use our financial literacy. So if you know that you're praying for money, right? Educate yourself on financial literacy. If you know that you're trying to get like a new house, educate yourself on the home buyer, first time home buyer classes. If you know you're trying to save money, educate yourself on the best bank to start saving money. Like right now, if you're fasting, you should be saving a whole lot of money because baby, you haven't been eating. You should be saving a whole lot of money. So educate yourself when it comes to the certain desire that you have in your heart. You got to get that knowledge. Use this time wisely. Use this fasting time wisely. That is so important, to make sure that you're using your time wisely as well. Okay? So that is it for today as far as like scriptures, prayers that you should be doing. Ask God to show you the direction of the knowledge that he wants you to look into, because if not, you're going to just be going through your day and you're not using your time to kind of educate yourself on certain things. So make sure you ask God, point me in direction of the knowledge that you would like for me to have during my fast, because we only have 3 more days and I'm excited. The enemy tried me today. He definitely tried me today, but he is not going to get the best of me. He's not. He can't. I'm already locked in where I'm like, okay, I know this is going to happen. Like I'm just asking for an increase in faith. I wake up wee hours in the morning and I start praying because I know that I have to be secure in this thing and I have to be strong for you guys to be able to even get on here and allow myself the time and the space to even do this, right? So yeah, that's the word for the day. Listen, have faith. That's the name of this title. Have faith. This thing should not return to God void. You're going to get your blessings. And I appreciate you guys going through this with me. So it hasn't been easy, but I really appreciate it. And if you would like some type of ingredients to different juices that you can make during your fast, make sure you let me know in the comments. I will definitely love to give you information. And again, if you're looking to have like a prayer done, I don't pray for people on camera, but if you like to have like your own secret prayer with me, let me know. I will list all of my information in the description box where you can get in contact with me for a prayer. All right. I just want to say thank you guys so much. I love you dearly and have a great day because the day is still young. So enjoy your day. Go to a park, read, write, journal, release these emotions, and just be free. Be free from all of that chaotic crap that's going on in your mind. Okay. Thank you.